Hey guys, today I am bringing you a foundation routine for very oily skin. Now, I have kind of oily combo skin where it is pretty oily, but I do have some like dry patches and uneven skin texture as well. But I have recently, just in the past month, kind of discovered some new oil controlling products and things that I've been really liking, because it seems like as the seasons have changed from winter to spring here in Canada, just the last month, my skin has been more oily than, well, than all winter, I guess. So I just wanted to film my updated oily skin full coverage foundation routine. I hope you like it. Let's get started. I have already used an exfoliating cleanser just to get rid of any little dead flakes on my skin. And now I'm going in with this Body Shop Seaweed Mattifying Day Cream. This is formulated for combination oily skin, and it moisturizes dry areas while controlling excess sebum and shine. This Seaweed Mattifying Day Cream has been really great because I do feel like it actually moisturizes, but it does dry down very matte and gives kind of a slightly tightening effect, but it's not over drying and it's not over tight feeling, so it's not uncomfortable, but I've been loving this lately. Now we let that sit for just a minute or two. You don't want to apply foundation while this is still pretty kind of tacky. After that, I'm going to spritz my face with this NYX Matte Finish Long Lasting Setting Spray, and this is really meant for over your foundation, which I will use again, but I like to use it before my foundation as well because I do feel like it's going into my skin a little bit better and controlling oil. Now, if you want to do any color correcting or like acne concealing, dark spot concealing, I actually like to do a lot of that before I put foundation on, and then I'll go in for under eyes and things after my foundation if I want to do that. But because my concealers don't often match my foundation shade perfectly, I don't like putting my concealer on top of my foundation and like making it stand out a little bit more. And I'm using today the NYX HD concealer, and I have mine in the fairest one, I think 01. Now on my actual blemishes, which I have a couple there, one there, I'm actually going to let the concealer sit on them the longest and blend out around my nose and things like that first. I find that by letting your concealer kind of just sit on your blemishes for a few minutes, it kind of just dries to the blemish itself, and when you go to blend it out, you're not blending it all away. It's actually had time to stick to your face. And for foundation, I'm going to be using this Estée Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place makeup. Guys, this foundation is a must for oily skin. It is the only foundation I've ever tried to actually control my oils. Some of them will help out for most of the day or half of the day. This one, a full day with minimal to no shine poking through. It's amazing. I have mine in the shade 1N1. I have used 1W1 in the past, but it was just a little too warm for me, so I'm trying out the 1N1 now, and it's pretty light, but it still is a little bit dark for my very fair skin. So I actually am going to use the shade adjusting drops from the Body Shop, which is basically a white fluid just to lighten it up slightly. And I'm going to dot a very thin layer all over my face. There are two ways I like to blend this foundation in. One is with a very dense foundation brush. This is from Real Techniques. It is the Expert Face Brush, or I like to use a beauty sponge, but make sure it's not too damp. I don't think this foundation works all that well with water, so mine is very minimally damp, just enough to make it a little more squishy. And as you see, I'm actually kind of dabbing and pulling at the same time. Now, trust me when I say the key to this foundation looking less cakey, because you can build it up to be super full coverage, but the key for me is putting on very thin layers at a time. Now, this coverage is good enough for me. I think it looks really nice and somewhat natural. It does have a powdery finish, so if you don't really like a powdery finish, maybe you could go in with a little MAC Fix Plus, something to give yourself a little bit more of a glow. I personally do not think you need to powder with this. It controls my oil well enough, literally just on its own. But two powders that I do really like. If you do like a more powdered finish, you feel more comfortable with the powder, or you feel like this foundation works but maybe you're gonna need to touch up during the day, I recommend these two powders for oily skin. The first one is this NYX HD Studio Finishing Powder. It is just a white translucent powder, and I think it's really great for combo skin because it smooths down your skin, it helps with texture, it helps with flakes and things like that, but it also does a really good job at looking very matte. And the other one that I've recently been loving is the MAC Blot Powder. This is good for me for touch-up, so if I'm going to be wearing this foundation for like, let's say 12 hours, you know, around the 10-hour mark, I might have minimal like shine, and just giving myself a little bit of touch-up with this blotting powder has really been a lifesaver, especially for when I'm wearing foundations that aren't as heavy duty as this. This blotting powder is amazing. Now I'm just going to put a little bit of concealer on and some bronzer, give myself a spritz of this, and I'm good to go. And that is it for my oil controlling foundation routine for just every day. I hope you guys liked it. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to subscribe. I put out new videos every single week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.